You have a lot of ideas you want to implement, but in your organization you cannot simply do that. This is because your boss says there are targets to be met, there are ways of doing things, there are rules and regulations to be followed, there are systems to be complied with, safety, health, environment, so many of the things. Not only that, I think there are annual targets, quarterly targets, monthly targets, daily targets, periodic reviews, a whole lot of controls, whole lot of mechanisms. You often wonder, where am I stuck? Why is it with all the great things that management talks about, from Harvard Business School to IIM Ahmedabad to any ordinary school, there is no opportunity for managers to innovate? You often curse yourself and you most often make a statement that I am not the master of my time. I can do things only as long as I follow the instructions from some of the people who made these instructions and my boss and so on. I think this is normally the kind of situation. If you don't belong to this kind of a situation, you are a lucky manager working in a very positive and wonderful kind of an organization. Sometimes I wonder, when I look at our Indian professional bodies, these professional bodies like the All India Management Association, Ahmedabad Management Association, and many local management associations, NIPM and its chapters, ISTD and its chapters, National HRD Network and its chapters, have done marvelous work in the past. When nobody knew of professional management, it is Ahmedabad Management Association that introduced professional management, and it is only after Ahmedabad Management Association started by Dr. Sarabhai, Indian Institute of Management at Ahmedabad started. Then All India Management Association came into existence, and it has done a wonderful service of professionalizing management in a number of ways. Particularly in the corporate sector, it has made a phenomenal influence. So is the National Institute of Personal Management. It generated a whole lot of body of knowledge in earlier years. Later on, I think brought in a lot of stability and a good name for the entire labor welfare and personal management professions. So is the Indian Society for Training and Development, which brought in a lot of innovations from various parts of the world and made the training and development a respectable a profession in our country. National HRD Network started to disseminate the philosophy of human resources development and to create humanization at work. Their mission and objective was to make people be treated as human beings first and constantly build mechanisms and opportunities for making people to contribute their best in the world. Nowadays, when I look at some of these chapters and the people who manage these associations, I keep wondering. They have all the possible opportunities on earth. They have opportunities and an environment which is far better than their own organizations where they are paid salaries. Here there are no salaries, no job descriptions, no one to whom you need to be accountable. You are accountable to your own conscience. You volunteer to be a president of such a body, or a secretary of a body, treasurer of a body, or an executive council member of the body. And after you volunteer, what do? It is not an uncommon experience. You simply disappear from the scene. And what you do is to only add that line that I am an executive committee member or a president or a secretary, etc. in your biodata. That's all you have done in the entire year. And you appear often for the next elections. And maybe if there is a big ceremony where you are honored or you are going to honor someone, you may be there. What an opportunity you have missed. On one side, you grumble and complain in your own organization, you don't have an opportunity to innovate, to do things your own way. And here is an opportunity where, as the president of a professional body, or a secretary, or a treasurer, or an executive committee member, or even an ordinary member, you can do a hell of a lot of things. You can make a lot of difference. You can create your own systems. You can create your own job descriptions. And if you do a small thing, a whole lot of people keep appreciating. There is no boss, there is no one to supervise you, there is no performance appraisal, there is unfortunately no accountability. Now, when you are in such a situation, should you consider yourself lucky or unlucky? Many people think they are lucky and add to that luck. They are lucky because they can add this little thing in their biodata but do nothing all through the year. But there are other people who consider themselves as lucky because they got an opportunity to innovate, do things which they have not done before, can do things which they cannot do in their own organization. Organizations are 9 to 5. You are bound by job descriptions, target accomplishments, meetings, etc., etc. But 5 to 9, 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning, which is longer than 9 to 5. Now you can count how many hours do you have. 5 to 9, you have almost 16 hours, whereas 9 to 5 is only 8 hours. In 16 hours, you can do a hell of a lot in terms of initiating a lot of innovations and things like that. You can make things happen, you can start new programs, you can come up with new concepts, you can conduct workshops, you can be there to counsel people, to help people, and do a large number of things. Think for yourself, if you happen to be a member of any of these bodies, what is it that you are doing? How much of responsibility have you taken? Are you making a difference by taking up this voluntary work? Are you doing justice to the body? Are you missing out opportunities? Are you making use of all that is possible to initiate an experiment? I believe professional bodies, B schools, colleges, universities, where your workload is quite often not specified. In a university or a B school, you are expected to deliver only 160 hours in the entire year, whereas in a company, you are supposed to work for about 2000 to 2400 hours. What are you doing as a B school professor for the rest of the time? Indulging in politics, wasting your time, not even visiting your library. Now, you don't even have this requirement in a professional body. Nobody asks you. All that you need to do is maybe at best present yourself for about a couple of hours in a month. 12 months, 12 multiplied by 2 hours plus travel time another hour, 12 multiplied by 3 are at best 4 hours, 50 hours out of the 16 multiplied by 365 hours you have at your disposal. Are you making use of these? Are you making a difference? What a wonderful opportunity some of the office bearers and professors miss because they mismanage their time. They are not able to use the wonderful opportunity God has given them to be an office bearer of a professional body or to be a professor in a management school or in a university and so on. I think about yourself, the way you are using your time and the way you can make a difference in the lives of others. Please, this is a God-sent opportunity to be an office bearer or to be a teacher. Please do justice to this. Please be responsible. Please spend time. There are many youngsters looking towards you if you happen to be a senior professional, senior manager, a senior personnel person, HR person, training and development person, supply chain management person, IT person, whatever you are. I think if you are a member of a professional body and an office bearer, there is a phenomenal amount of opportunity, phenomenal amount of responsibility for you. Demonstrate that human is a possibility and you have wonderful resources in yourself and you can make a lot of difference to the humanity at large. Be responsible, do your job well and make a difference. Don't waste your time. This is my appeal to all presidents, secretaries, treasurers who have volunteered and taken up responsibilities in professional bodies. I hope you will set an example and don't disappoint all your members who normally will talk at your back if you don't do a good job and may not say that you are doing a good job when you have done it. You are responsible for your conscience. All the best from me and from TVRLS.